For the Apollo program, NASA needed a big and powerful rocket. So what they ended up doing is welding a bunch of smaller rockets together, and I'm going to show you a full-scale version of that rocket. Hi, I'm John Williams, and I'm standing in front of the Saturn I Block II rocket. This rocket in particular was one of the first rockets ever designed and made for the Apollo program. If you look up, you can see 8 cylinders that are welded together. Each of those are one Redstone rocket fuel tank. And one Redstone rocket could launch one human on a suborbital trajectory, basically to the edge of space, but not to orbit. So you have 8 of those surrounding a Jupiter engine, which was a more powerful version of the Redstone rocket. And all of these, basically, little rockets themselves created the Saturn I. Now, this Saturn I in particular was made for the process of testing the Apollo capsule and also just launching satellites that NASA needed on a way longer trajectory and needed to go way further than normally. So if you look up, you can see the second stage, which is above the cylinders when those end. Basically, the second stage was made up of 6 RL-10 engines, which is the RL-10 is still being used today as one of the most efficient engines ever designed. So, if you look up even higher, you can see the Apollo capsule, and that is a boilerplate capsule that would have been sent up into space and tested through re-entry to see if it survived. It's pretty amazing. And also, if you look down over here, you can see these holders, the yellow and green holders. These in particular were the same ones that were used on the real launch pad to hold the rocket down, but also let it release. So when all of these engines lit up, these explosive bolts would separate these huge arms from the fins of the rocket, and then they would launch backwards, and then the rocket would just take off. It's an amazing piece of engineering, and it really represents Dr. Wernher von Braun putting all of his best technology together before we had the Saturn V and the F1 engine and the J2 engines, which were developed and were way more powerful than this, but this is just when we had to get something working for the Apollo program, and we only had to work with what we got. It's amazing. Please subscribe, share our videos, and excitement about space with everyone.